I recently watched a podcast interview with a man who claims that he was here to transform Botswana's economy. I couldn't decide if I was watching a visionary, a genius, a salesman, or something completely different. All I can tell you is many times throughout the interview, my internal alarm system was triggered. Watch some of these moments and please tell me if I'm being a skeptic or my skepticism is warranted.
My main interest why I actually moved to Africa wasn't part of my plan. It's a divine calling. I moved here because I created a mega movement that is called Collective Peaceful Rise of Africa.
He repeatedly references a divine calling. Throughout the interview, he calls the president and himself spirit brothers. He talks about how their meeting was God's plan. He sprinkles the word destiny in there. And he even has a prophecy about Botswana. When people evoke divine authority, I find that the audience receiving it is unable to scrutinize what they are saying because, in scrutinizing, they feel like they are questioning God.
We want to be not at $20 billion GDP. We want to be at $100 billion GDP. We want next year our State of Union, our budget speech to have no deficit.
The use of the pronoun we when referring to the people of Botswana, including himself as one of us. He claims that he's been in Botswana for a year. So in him being here for a year, coming here to transform the economy of Botswana, is he suddenly as invested in the future of Botswana as we are? Does the future of Botswana does the future of Botswana affect him, his family, his children as much as it affects us? I am I was very uncomfortable with the use of the word we. How do you feel about it? Confusing rhetoric when it comes to his personal philosophy or personal vision.
Model of Botswana is in line with my private model. I call it, first, we are independent.
Yes.
Two, because we are independent on our own, so we are neutral. Because we are neutral, we are inclusive. Neutral doesn't mean I don't take sides. It means I include everyone.
Yes.
First, my own population, then others. All benefit and contribute to each other. Then I'm supra. We all look for something higher. Not only that. And then we are common denominator of good.
It's very, very important to listen, not to how someone sounds, but to the words that they speak and to understand them. For instance, if I say something like this, the economy of Botswana is subjugated on the periphery of the arms of all the institutions that bind us. I used a lot of big words and sounded confident, but I said nothing. If after listening to someone, you cannot explain to someone else what was said, I think this calls for pause.
Before that, I must establish my pure intentions.
Yes.
I came to this country and to the continent uninvited. I created a mega movement based on a vision.
Unprovoked, he repeatedly stated his good intentions. If you and I are neighbors, and I see that you're toiling away in your garden, planting vegetables, starting a vegetable patch, and I come over and say, I have worlds of experience planting vegetable patches in the neighborhood for other neighbors, let me help you. And while we're digging, turning up your soil, I keep saying to you, I'm only here to help you with good intentions. My presence here is good. What would that say to you? How would you feel about that? And I'm going to leave that there.
Sure.
What is your PhD on, and is what you are doing now related to what your PhD is?
No, most.
At one point, he was asked a direct question about his qualifications, but he didn't give a direct answer.
My learning is self-learning. I can say 99%, 90. Even the Chinese language, I took classes at Harvard, but I ran faster than them.
I agree with him that education isn't everything and it doesn't define people's economic success. But he could have answered the question directly.
My studies were in economic, what we call comparative system.
That's your PhD is on that.
Yeah, my PhD itself is honorary doctorate from Shanghai.
Oh.
Okay, and then I have also some received from England. So I have all of these, but I don't even take it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but most of them were because of my practical and pragmatic
So what you have is the masters or what?
Yeah, no, I from the undergrad and masters, but I'm saying is that the honorary doctorate is there.
Yeah.
The interviewer asked him, do you have a master's degree or what was your master's degree in? And he skirted around that. I would have been satisfied with him talking about his bachelor's degree and what he studied in his bachelor's degree. If he has a master's degree, talk about what his master's degree was on. But I still don't know if he has a bachelor's degree. If he has a master's degree, all I know is that he has an honorary degree from a university in Shanghai, another honorary degree maybe from somewhere in Europe, from England, he said. People like Richard Branson and Steve Jobs were always forthcoming about the fact that they were school dropouts. And that's because the success that they had in their industries spoke for them.
As a presidential envoy, I am pro bono. I'm not receiving salaries. Very important because
he claimed to be in Botswana working for free. This one is a bit tied into his claim that all he had is good intentions. He is in Botswana working for free. So he relocated, uprooted his family from wherever they were living to come to Botswana to work for free. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
example with our own brother, my own brother that I'm so much, as you can feel from me.
Yes.
Well, I have pushed
president.
him. I have pushed him. Sir, give me a little bit of autonomy to have a, what I call, override power.
The suggestion that he needed extraordinary authority. You know, with people who have the gift of gab, who love to talk about themselves, the more that you give them the platform to talk, they will state who they are and what they want. A lot of this interview was based on him claiming to have played a fundamental role in China's recent economic transformation. What exactly was his role? What is the evidence? And he claimed that there were hundreds of documents of evidence. He didn't bring any to this interview. He did suggest that we search him, which I did, and I found a lot of biographical and promotional profiles. He was president of the Iran and China Chamber of Commerce, where he organized conferences and promoted business initiatives between the governments or business people in both countries. He's a known foreign figure in China, but there were no independent sources documenting projects, policies, or reforms directly attributed to him. If someone claims to have played an extraordinary role in one of the greatest economic transformations in recent history, what kind of evidence would you be expecting to find? The biggest takeaway for me from this interview wasn't this man and who he is and the work that he's done. It was the comments. There was a lot of relief that someone had come with the answers, that someone had come to transform our economy. And it made me think about Dead Aid, a book by the economist Dambisa Moyo, where she stated that long-term dependence on financial aid hindered sustainable economic growth for Africa. It made me think, if could this be applied to foreign experts? foreign visionaries, foreign saviors. What happens next time we find ourselves in need of a transformation? Are we going to enlist another foreign savior, a foreign expert? Botswana has no shortage of experienced economists, research and researchers, civil servants, business leaders, or diplomats. I can't help but think of a phrase made popular by Steve Biko and the Black Consciousness Movement. Black man, you are on your own. If you're down on your luck, if you're in a rut in your personal life and you've hit rock bottom, the phrase people use is no one is going to save you. You have to fathom all the tools, the experience, the skills, the resilience that you have. Get up, walk, run, and soar. The question isn't, can one man transform the economy of Botswana? The question is, why are so many of us looking for a savior?